The job market these days, it's just wild.
Yeah, I've been thinking the same thing. What's got you fired up about it?
Well, I've been looking at, all these layoffs happening. Tech, federal workers, even McDonald's isn't immune. It's kind of unsettling.
Do you think it's just media hype, or is there something bigger going on?
I think it's more than just hype. The data shows a big increase in layoffs. In 2022, there were about 165,000 tech layoffs, and in 2023, it jumped to 260,000. And it's not just tech.
Wow.
People from all industries are feeling the squeeze.
That's alarming. And it's not just numbers, right? There are real people behind those stats.
Exactly. I read this story about a 65-year-old woman who was laid off while battling cancer. It's heartbreaking and really puts things into perspective.
That's tough. It really shows how vulnerable people are right now. But do you think fears about increased competition for jobs are justified?
There's definitely fear out there. Some even speculate it's part of a scheme to drive down wages.
Do you think that's accurate?
I mean, it's a lot of speculation. I think it's important to focus on the economic factors. It's not just AI taking over jobs, though that's a big concern for many.
Right, AI is a hot topic, but is it really causing all these layoffs?
Not entirely. Companies like Amazon and Meta overhired during the pandemic. Now they're pulling back to adjust to the post-pandemic economy.
Makes sense. So they expanded too quickly and are now correcting that?
Exactly. It's like a market correction. And you have to consider factors like inflation, rising interest rates, reduced venture capital funding, all impacting companies.
But wait, aren't we overlooking the impact of AI? I feel like automation is still a significant threat to jobs.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not dismissing that. AI is transforming the job market. My point is that it's not the sole factor. It's a combination of things.
Got it. Fair enough. So it's a perfect storm then.
Exactly. And it's affecting day-to-day work too. Have you heard about coffee badging?
Yeah, employees badging in, grabbing a coffee, and leaving early.
Yeah.
It's like a silent protest against returning to the office full-time.
Right, but companies are catching on. They're tracking badge data and could use it for demotions or layoffs.
That's risky. It shows the tension between employers wanting people back in the office and employees valuing flexibility.
Exactly. It's a real tug-of-war shaping workplace dynamics.
And then there's the issue of H-1B visas. Some people worry that foreign workers are undercutting American jobs. What's your take?
It's complicated. Some argue hiring H-1B workers allows companies to pay less and expect more, creating unfair competition. But on the flip side, countries like Canada are attracting U.S. tech talent with more welcoming policies.
So it's a global competition for talent.
Exactly. National policies have a big impact on talent flows.
With all these factors, where does that leave the average person? It's getting harder to achieve that American dream.
Yeah. Even households earning $100,000 are struggling to afford traditional markers of success like owning a home.
That's crazy. It feels like the goalposts keep moving.
Exactly. So people need to adapt. Being proactive, learning in-demand skills, maybe starting their own businesses.
What kind of skills are we talking about? AI-related stuff?
Definitely. As AI integrates into industries, understanding how to leverage it is key. But it's not just technical skills. Cody Sanchez talks about productized services, packaging your skills into clear offerings.
Like creating specific service packages?
Exactly. It makes it easier for clients to see your value. She also mentions platforms like GLG and Intro for consultants.
So if you're considering consulting, those are good places to start.
Yes, and she highlights service businesses with high profit potential. Auto detailing, landscaping, services people always need.
Those have low startup costs, which is great if you've been laid off and need to start over.
Exactly. But some might not be into entrepreneurship. There's burnout from the corporate world.
Yeah, Matt Card had a cynical take saying companies prioritize profits over people, especially with end-of-year layoffs.
It does seem that way sometimes. Companies might be making cuts to look good for shareholders.
So where does that leave us?
Maybe it's time to redefine success on our own terms, focusing on meaningful work and community rather than just material success.
That's a good point. Maybe the traditional markers aren't as relevant.
Exactly. And focusing on mindset and resilience is key. Xiaojin shared his experience being laid off and emphasized that it's not your fault.
That's important. It's easy to blame yourself after a layoff.
Right. But layoffs are often due to factors beyond our control. He also stressed taking time to process emotions before jumping back into the job search.
Absolutely. That's good advice. You need to heal before moving forward.
Exactly. And being empathetic towards others, even those involved in the layoff, can help. Holding on to bitterness only holds you back.
So it's about mindset, adaptability, and finding your own path in uncertain times.
Yes, and remembering we're all in this together. Supporting each other makes a big difference.
Absolutely. It's challenging, but with the right approach, we can navigate these changes.
Exactly. Let's focus on what we can control and build the future we want.